Welcome into the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. I'm Tom Leach, along with Jim Goodman, for the Saturday, June 29th card at Gulfstream Park, the summit of speed. And we're going to take a look at a couple of graded stakes races that are part of the late pick four. We'll give you a late pick four ticket as well. The 12th is the grade 2 Princess Rooney at 7 furlongs, fillies and mares 3 and up. And you had a prohibitive favorite here in Stormy Embrace, who won the race last year at a big price. She looked like she was unbeatable to me. Could you find any chinks in the armor?
No, and I apologize off the air to you for making this the pick of the week, because I did it on Tuesday, and I didn't know they hadn't drawn yet. But I thought it was the best race, potentially, but turns out the Smile Sprint's going to be a much better betting race. Yeah, this one, Stormy Embrace, she's 4-5 morning line for Kathleen O'Connell. She had a blowout win in the musical Romance on the 18th of May, and it's the same pattern that she used last year. Now, last year she won this race at 15-1, so I don't think you're going to get anywhere close to that this time. Looks like to me she's set up. She got 99 Buyer last time out. She's 4 for 11 the distance. I couldn't find any way to beat her. I do have a price that I think the horse is moving way up in class. Royal Asher cuts back from 2 1-mile wins and could crash the exact. The obvious second choice is the 4, and I can't pronounce, Sagaro Road, ships from Belmont, and moves up from allowance optional claimer. But it looks like to me this is a walkover for Stormy Embrace. Of course, that's as soon as I say that, a bomb will come in. But I'll get to pick 4. I'm going to single her, obviously.
Same here. I thought, that I couldn't find any way to beat her, so I thought I'll try to find a price underneath. And I thought Weekend Mischief ran one start off the layoff, and it wasn't very good, but was pressing a fast pace and has run some decent races. And after Stormy Embrace, there's not a whole lot of difference in any of them on numbers. And so I thought Weekend Mischief might get overlooked off that last race, and good connections, top jock. So I thought that one would be one to kind of try to put underneath at a bit of a price in an exacta. Otherwise, Razorback Lady and Trenchtown Cat were the two I like next. But Stormy Embrace is going to be a single for me. 13th race is the grade 2 Smile Sprint at 6 furlongs for the boys, 3 and up. And I ended up going to Jalen Journey here. He is giving away some experience, and maybe we'll get a little better price because of that. He comes off a incredibly impressive effort, but it was only his 4th start. Got a 99 Buyer. The O'Connell barn's been strong at the meet. And there are others that are a little more battle-tested and also have some good numbers, and I think might attract enough money that Jalen Journey might get a decent price. And I just thought that last race was incredibly impressive. So I'm going to try that one, but I will really go deep into pick 4 here because it's not a standout. Pro Forma was the one I like next best. Cautious Giant, Garter and Tie, and Royal Squeeze, and all really about the same. There's no strong opinion here for me, but I'm going to try to find a little value with Jalen Journey, the 3. How about you?
I like him too, and I thought the reason I like him is he could be lone speed. Nobody else really shows that they want the lead. Cautious Giant is a 6 furlong specialist and may be able to track him and run him down. Jalen Journey might be a little bit better at 7 furlongs or a mile. That's where he's run the last 2 times. He's got better speed figures at those 2 distances than he did in his 1 6 furlong race. Kathleen O'Connell trying to sweep the 2 big stakes there. That's hard to do. For that reason, I like Jalen Journey, but my second choice is a horse that you didn't pick. Fast Pass to 7 has perfect draw for a closer, and if they do challenge Jalen Journey up front, he may be able to run them down from the 7 hole. It's on the outside post, but it's only 7 horses in the race. So I like that post position. I like his closing style. Cautious Giant is an obvious must-use, and Pro Forma is a must-use as well. But with the 4 here, I can't separate them very much. Jalen Journey would be my choice, but I think Fast Pass at probably a 5 or 6 to 1 price might be a good value play.
Now let's go to the pick 4. You've got a claiming race on the turf, 7.5 furlongs on the front end of this pick 4 in the 11th, and then the back end in the 14th race is maiden claimers going 7.5 furlongs on the turf. On the front leg, I took the 4, 2, 10 were the ones I liked in that order. The 4s from the Mike Maker barn. and those connections drew me to that one. Good old boy. But Mormo and Spa Jazz I could include as well. And then I'm going to use Stormy Embrace, the 6th single in the 12th. Then in the 13th, I'm using the Jim Goodman philosophy. I'm just going all because I would use more than half the field, and so no use leaving one or two of them out. So it's only 7. I'll take all 7 of them. And then I'm going to go 5 deep in the last leg to make it a $52.50 ticket for 50 cents. Pesca Cane, the 1, a very shaky pick. None of these have anything that enticing at all. The 6 has really poor form in 2 starts, but some good connection, so I'm going to throw that one in there. Starship Fonzie. The 3, Fortune Nickel. The 8, Perfect Enough. The 7, Mono. So I'm going to use all of those, and still not confident that I have the winner in there. So it's 2, 4, 10 with all, or 2, 4, 10 with 6 with all, with 1, 3, 6, 7, 8 for me for $52.50. How about you?
Yeah, I really wish these big tracks on their big days would put a nice pick 4 sequence together. I mean, the 14th race is like a crapshoot. It's a maiden claimer. Add them up all together like 0 for 40 something, and the favorite's going to be 0 for 16, Tis Luna. So I wasn't very impressed with the last race and the structure on a 14-race day. They should put a nicer race and stick this one in the third race or 4th race or something like that. But that's just somebody who manages a racetrack and thinks about the other things besides making money. The 11th race, I went 5 deep in here with the 3 horses you mentioned. Good Old Boy is my top pick, the 4. I also used America's Samard, the 9. 21 morning line, but the turf numbers match up with this bunch just as good as anybody else. And the last race was off the turf and didn't run very well. And then Looking Savvy is the other horse that I'm using. So I'll go 2, 4, 6, 9, 11. Single the 6, Stormy Embrace in the stakes race, the Princess Rooney. I'm also going to go all. You knew what I was going to do when I mentioned 4 horses in the third leg, the Smile Sprint. So I'll go all there with 7. And then I'm going to go 5 deep in the last race. Some of the horses you mentioned, but some of the horses that you didn't. Pesca Cave, the 1 is 0 for 6. Tis Luna, the 2 is 0 for 16. Fortune Nickel, the 3 is 0 for 9. So those 3 together are 0 for 31. But you got to use them because their numbers look better than the horses that hadn't run as much. Also used 5, Taylor's Initiation, 4th lifetime start. They're changing a lot of things with this horse. First time on turf, 15 to 1. I'm hoping the change of surface does the trick. Doesn't have to jump up much to beat these. And then Mono is 0 for 1. I always want to use the horse with the least number of losses in a race like this. So Mono is the 7. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. Pick 4 is $87.50 with 2, 4, 6, 9, 11 with 6 with all with 1, 2, 3, 5, 7.
Yeah, I would encourage folks, if you can narrow down the Smile Sprint, then you could certainly consider going all in that last leg, because I'd feel more comfortable doing that, but the ticket would just be way more expensive than I want to suggest. So best of luck. There's some really nice racing around the country, with Woodbine having the Queen's Plate Day, Churchill's closing weekend. Belmont's got a nice race for the distaffers on Saturday. So some good spots around the country. Keep your Keeneland Select account fully funded, and then a big holiday weekend coming up that we'll talk about on our next edition of the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com.